Hello YouTubers, this is Cyberdyne24 and today is actually a really great day. Well, to be honest with you, I had a really bad day at work. Boss is busting my chops. But today has changed. Today I received my brand new piston for my Husqvarna 394 XP. Plus also, believe me, if you do any kind of chainsaw work that also involves changing the clutch out, changing flywheel out, anything with the sprocket, needle bearings or pistons or anything like that, always get this. This is a piston ring clamp set. As you can see right here, you have it does come with two plastic piston stops. I really wouldn't recommend using them because I've been told that they break very easily. They break in the cylinder, so why would you want to have to take all that time? You have to take the piston out and then take all the plastic stuff done. Now with this particular kit, which I bought off eBay for $13.99, it came out to $18 shipping and handling, and included this, which is a metal piston stop. And as you can see right here close up, it's not flat. It's got a rounded edge to it. So it's hopefully not going to mar the piston. Now part of this tool kit I'm going to use is I'm going to use, of course, the little plastic ring compressors, which compress the piston rings. Because with one ring, it's not that hard to slip it back onto a saw, but when you have two rings, it's very, very difficult to get the piston in the cylinder easily. Believe me, when I took this thing apart once, it took me probably about 20 minutes just to slide that piston back into the cylinder, which is great. Plus also is you do have this little plastic piece right here. It acts as kind of like a stop for the crank. I don't know. What is it? Camshaft? Yeah, I believe it's the camshaft. That's what it's called. If I'm not, by all means, I'm not like a big superior small engine mechanic, so I do what I do to keep myself going. But as you can see right here, this is the clamp set. This is the clamp that will actually fit around the piston. Once I get the rings compressed, compresses the rings down. I get a little bit of a gap on there. Start slowly sliding it in, let it go. Boom, slides it in, done. Which is a great thing. Of course, also with the new piston cylinder, came with new rings. Rod, and also, I think it should be in here, new circlips. Never want to reuse any of the stock stuff. Just throw it out, because when you buy a new piston, you're gonna get all this stuff anyway. And believe me, this aftermarket piston cost me about, including shipping and handling, about $30. So it's a lot better than spending over $100 buying OEM parts, because aftermarkets are not that bad. And plus also, this thing looks like it's actually pretty nice. So let's don on some gloves and also get a little bit of oil so I can lubricate all this stuff, so once this stuff goes back in, it's got plenty of lubrication on it. And then we'll also be able to test out the great 8-2 sprocket that I got in this machine. So we're just done on the gloves. Now one thing you always want to do as you can see right here, is I put a plastic bag over the camshaft because I wanted to ensure that there was no possibility of stuff actually getting put into the cylinder. And plus also, since yesterday I was cleaning out my vacuum cleaner, I was able to blow this out a little bit, spray a little bit of carb cleaner and clean some of it out. I mean, it's a little bit dirty, but the thing is, it's not that big of a deal. Just gonna get out of the frame a little bit, just so I can grab my engine oil. Alright, now we are back. How you doing, everybody? Okay, now I got all my necessary, got a lot of my necessary tools right here. Got some oil. You can use anything you really want. Preferably I'm going to get an oil can to make it, you know, at least have something to contain, you know, to contain everything with. One thing you want to do is first inspect the needle bearing right here. Make sure that there's no missing bearings or anything like that. Kind of make sure all the crap is cleaned off on it. And then take your little bit of oil. Just grease up that bearing. Now, with doing this, with greasing up the bearing, and let me just make sure I can get this shot good. Get a good shot of this. Okay. Now, one thing you want to know is, to be sure, is you know, always check the piston out, see if the piston looks okay. Piston looks really fine. Now, one thing you always want to make sure is, as you can see here, let me just get this in focus. As you can see for the piston here, you see this arrow. You would want this arrow pointing towards your exhaust. Because one thing is you do not want to do is you do not want the rings, the edge of these rings right here, you don't want the one part of the ring hitting, you know, the one open part of the ring, you don't want it hitting the exhaust port or the intake port, because if that happens, it's going to snap the ring, you're going to be in trouble. Now, let's dig through my spare parts, and let's take a look and find rod. Now, one thing we're going to do is we're going to take it, just coat a little bit of oil in it so it can help slide this thing through in better. Yeah, you want this thing just to get in there good. Now we'll put Now we're going to put part of it in. We're not going to put the piston all the way in, because first thing we got to do is we got to install the first circlips. Now, one thing you want to do is you want to have a good set of pliers. Luckily, at Harbor Freight, they sell awesome plier sets. I mean, for me, I just use these little pair right here. Then all we do is we then go into the just take it. And then we just becoming a royal pain in the butt. Now my whole hands are greasy. Just take the circlip. You want to put the circlip back to the hole. I'm just moving it towards me to sort of make it a little bit easier on myself to see where this thing. Okay, where'd that go? Where'd the clip go? You always gotta be careful where these things go. A little part, but it's a little part that can be a royal pain in the ass. Okay, first circlip is put in. Then we just want to push this piston all the way. Yeah, looks good. Let's see. Okay, as we can see, the piston is installed, which is great. And believe me, this little piston stop thing is actually it works pretty cool. Piston's in place. I'm very happy about that because that means the saw can get back into good running order. And once we're done with that, then we work on the actual rings themselves. What I want to do is just give a good coat of oil all over the piston. Make sure everything's all nice and clean. Now we actually get on to the important part, installing the piston rings. Wow. These look like the big 1.5 millimeter piston rings. In the newer saws, newer 394s and also 395s, you're going to find 1.2 millimeter pistons. This is the piston ring right here. Now I want to start with the bottom one first. Hopefully this one will be easy. Let's take this packaging material off because we really don't need it. And as you can see right here, see the first indentation of the ring. Where's the other stuff of it? Okay. Now, one thing you do want to be careful is you do want to be careful with installing the rings, because they can break on you very, very, very easily. Yeah, we just want to be very, very careful when we do this, because we don't want to mess up any of the rings. This is like the painstaking part of it all. Just trying to get the second part out so it can just slip in. Now we're going to do something that